podcast in Long Beach, California. Hey guys, it's me, JR. Check this out. You're here because you want to know how are Uber drivers gonna be obsolete, right? Because that's the title of the episode. And last episode we did, and I'm gonna link it in towards the end, we talked about how much Uber drivers make. And it's a lot of money for some people, right? But this episode, we're going to talk about how the careers of the Uber drivers will eventually be replaced by self-driving cars, the robo-taxis. Uber drivers are going to be extinct, and they're going to disappear by 2030. That's right, 2030. What the hell am I talking about? I'm talking about Waymo, the robo-taxis. I'm talking about the self-driving Tesla cars. I'm talking about the self-driving Uber and Lyft cars. That's right. All these companies from the very beginning have thought of this concept many years ago, and now it's starting to become a reality and it's starting to be phased in. And within 4 years, I think 80% to 90% of all Uber drivers or Lyft drivers will be replaced by robo-taxis. This is the way of the future. What the hell is this guy talking about? He's wrong. He's an idiot. Some of the comments that I know you lovely people will write. I'm talking about the Waymo cars here in Los Angeles and Hollywood, California, and all the affluent parts of the city, as well as downtown Los Angeles. You've seen them, the Waymo cars, the self-driving cars, the white cars, the Jaguars, right? They're kind of funny looking, but they have all these cameras and all these sensors, and it's got like a thing on the top that kind of looks like a flux capacitor or something to that effect. You know, the kind of thing that they used in Back to the Future. I think it's a radar. Anyways, these cars perform incredibly well. You know, I'll be driving, dropping off passengers. They pull up right next to me, and they take off. In the middle, they're smart enough to how to navigate through traffic, and in my opinion, they drive very well. It's definitely convenient for the company and makes sense for the company, because now, remember what I said, Uber drivers get paid well. You know, those that drive 10 to 12 hours a day and make anywhere from $250 to $200 a day. You multiply that by the number of days they work, they could range anywhere from $60,000 to $80,000 a year. You don't believe me? Look at that, my previous video. Back to the story at hand. These vehicles do not need to take breaks. These vehicles could drive 10 to 12 hours, no problem. They could probably even drive 18 hours a day, no problem. The only limitation that this vehicle has is it needs to be recharged or refueled, and then it could keep on going basically 24 hours a day non-stop for I don't know, weeks on end. And that's the benefit of self-driving cars for these companies. Now Tesla, Uber, Lyft, right, they've all tried to get in on this action, and it's going to become a reality by 2030. I could see it completely happening, completely being phased out. And you don't believe me? Well, time will tell. You know, but that's my opinion. That's kind of what I see happening. And it's like anything. Look, in the very beginning, the way Uber phased out regular taxis, and now taxis are almost obsolete and completely gone, eventually these self-driving cars are going to replace the Lyft, Uber, or ride-sharing drivers. So now you might be asking, JR, so what happens then, right? Well, it's very simple. All these drivers for ride-sharing are going to have to adapt and either become like a delivery service, meaning like like Uber Eats, Grubhub, stuff of that nature, stuff that Waymo cars, self-driving cars cannot do, right? They're gonna have to do like the picking of the groceries, right? Or they're gonna have to do Amazon deliveries, because the self-driving car cannot do that. That's what I see happening. Now, one of the downsides to the self-driving cars that I see happening is that the self-driving cars What's it going to do if someone has a medical emergency in the car? Well, this is the answer to that solution. You're going to jump into that robo-taxi. And since the moment you get into that robo-taxi, you're going to be recorded from the beginning to the end. And you're going to be watched. So whatever it is that you decide you're going to be doing in those taxis, you're going to be recorded. You're going to lose your privacy, right? So if you're having any kind of conversation, there's going to be a record of it. And the pretense of we're doing it for riders' safety. And that's going to be a thing. Trust me, it's going to become a thing. Because in the event of a medical emergency, they need to have the capability to see that the driver is having a heart attack, a stroke, or whatever. And then after that, they're going to be able to pull the car over and then call medical emergency. And that's what I see happening. Eventually, everybody's going to get used to it, and then it's not going to become a thing, just like anything else. And everything's going to be moving forward. But like I said, Uber, Lyft, drivers will be completely gone by 2030, and that's my opinion. All right, guys, do me a huge favor. Let me know how much of an idiot I am in the comment sections, because I know a lot of you love to drop that hate. And you know what? That's fine. Drop that hate. But also give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.